Welcome to everyone. And before I begin, I just would like to thank the Bavarian Gifted Children Center for hosting and creating our third global virtual meeting in Second Life in Gifted Education. As an educator for over 35 years, 25 of which were in gifted education, I get to speak and train a lot of teachers around the world. And we often talk about how do we motivate and engage children to think in different ways. I would like to suggest that we look to problem-based learning for a possible solution. And so tonight I will present to you a program which is called the Future Problem-Solving Program International. I thought I would focus on one specific program. We are looking to develop the ability of young people globally to design and promote positive futures using critical and creative thinking. And this is a program I have been involved in since 1989. Founded in 1974 by Dr. Paul Torrance. Some of you may recognize the name from the Torrance creativity test. He was a pioneer in creativity. And this nonprofit organization has a competition for children around the world in grades 4 through 12, and there are over 40 programs involved globally, so 40 countries are represented. We think in different ways, and one of the important things is to motivate our students to engage them in learning. And so this is a model, and the answer is already there. But the question is, how can you draw 4 straight lines and connect all of these red dots without lifting your pen or pencil? And again, this is the answer being shown. And if you pose this to your students, you will find that they will have other strategies and other answers beside just the one that we see. So again, we're always looking to engage them in finding more than one right answer. The Future Problem-Solving Program International, I think, engages students in problems on the local and global level. There are 3 divisions that students can participate in. One is if you're working with students in grades 4 through 6. The second is a middle division, grades 7 through 9. And the last is a senior division, grades 10 through 12. I've had the experience of working with the junior and middle school divisions over a period of years. All of these divisions compete as teams in groups of 4, or you could have 5, and they will problem solve issues and community problem solving, which is wonderful when you can actually connect to real life situations. And if your students, especially gifted students, decide that they want to respond as an individual, the program offers the option of scenario writing, which is something they can do independently. Scenario writing encourages imagination in creating a futuristic short story based on a particular future problem-solving program topic. It has to be at least 20 years into the future so that they're really projecting in time. And it's limited to 1,500 words. There are 6 steps involved in the future problem-solving process, and it really is pretty much a match to creative problem-solving. So this should look familiar to many of you. Identify the challenges related to the topic, or in this case, the future scene. Select an underlying problem. So you're going from the divergent to convergent thinking. Produce solution ideas to the underlying problem. Select criteria to evaluate solution ideas, and apply the criteria to the solution ideas. Finally, students will develop an action plan based on 6 steps. And these 6 steps will go over a period of weeks. It just doesn't happen overnight. There are different types of competitions that I wanted to share with you. The teams compete by analyzing a future scene, and it differs every year. And they have a booklet or a packet. And this will be on an electronic form very shortly. The Future Problem Solving Company, nonprofit organization, is working to have this in an electronic format. However, what we're first doing with the first step is to encourage the children to brainstorm at least 16 different problems and then 16 different solutions. We're having a technical difficulty with my PowerPoint. Please excuse us and give us a minute. And by the way, this is my very first time in Second Life, so I'm enjoying it.
It's ours too. You're doing fine.
Thank you.
Wow, you're doing brilliantly.
Thank you. Okay, I think we're almost ready. Yes? We're matching screens. Okay. So the students have a packet, and usually when kids brainstorm, they'll come up with 5 answers, maybe 10. What I like to tell them is that keep stretching your thinking, because if you can think beyond 10 into 15 or 16, you start to get those unique, creative, wild, and crazy ideas. And the more they really push themselves, the more they will brainstorm more and more answers, and in all different areas. When completing a practice packet, each team can complete a maximum of 10 problems and 10 solutions. And each team, regardless of the division, has no more than 2 hours to complete these steps. All the teams use the same future scenario or the same scene. The list for topics for future problem solving changes yearly, and they usually have the students suggest topics for the next year. They're voted upon, and then the decision is made by a board at the organization. For an example, the topics for the year 2010 and 2011 for the competition will be healthy living, air transport, genetic testing, water quality. And students will research these one at a time. The first time they complete part of the booklet. The second issue, the air transport, will encourage them to complete the entire booklet of 20 problems, 20 solutions. And then by the time they're ready for the third booklet, and this is paced throughout the year, they will then research genetic testing and do their outcome as a booklet on that. And then the water quality, the final topic, would be for the competition for a state or regional bowl. Emergency planning would be for the final competition at a state level or a higher level. And again, this is up to the different countries. The administrators from different countries who become involved can work with the U.S.-based organization on these deadlines. There are also alternate global issue problem-solving activities. One is a skit competition, and this is during the competition itself. Students act out a short play based on their action plan, and individuals and their alternates from the same school can help teams in their division perform a skit. And this is usually completed at the State Bowl, and it happens when the judges are judging the booklets.